Exercise 9.3, question number 13. How many terms of the GP 3, 3 square, 3 cube, so on are needed to give the sum 120? So here first of all it is given that it is a GP and we know how to find R. So let us solve this question number 13th one. So solution number 13. Here A equal to or A1 equal to A1 is 3. What is R? R equal to A2 over A1, that is equal to 3 square over 3, and that will be 3. Therefore A1 is 3 and R is 3. And what is the question? How many terms of the GP 3, 3 square, 3 cube, so on are needed to give the sum 120? So we know what is the formula for Sn. Sn equal to here 120, and the formula for that is A into 1 minus R raised to n over 1 minus R, and that is equal to 120. In our case A or A1, what is that? 3 into 1 minus R. R is 3. 3 raised to, and we do not know how many terms are there, so let it be n over 1 minus 3 equal to 120. If you want, you can use the other one also, A into R raised to n minus 1 over R minus 1. Doesn't make a difference here. So generally if R is greater than 1, you must use A into R raised to n minus 1 over R minus 1, but it will not make any difference here. There is no rule like that, but still if you want to follow it, you can do it. So here what we are getting is this is 3 into 1 minus this will remain as it is, 3 raised to n over this is minus 2 equal to, this we can write as 3 into 40, because 3 into 40 is 120. 3 and 3 will cancel out, and we'll be getting here, therefore 1 minus 3 raised to n equal to minus 80. And now let us go in next page. So from here we'll just rewrite that one, that is 1 minus 3 raised to n equal to minus 80. So 1 minus 3 raised to n equal to minus 80. Therefore we can have minus 3 raised to n equal to minus 80 minus 1. Therefore minus 3 raised to n is equal to minus 81. So both side minus will be cancelled out, and we'll be getting 3 raised to n equal to 81. Now this we cannot compare it like this. What we'll have to do is we'll have to write 81 in terms of 3 as a multiple of 3. So we can write 81 as 3 raised to 4, because if we 81 can be written as 9 into 9, and 9 further we can write as 3 square. So this will be 3 raised to n equal to 9 into 9, and this will give us 3 raised to n equal to 3 square into 3 square, or directly you can write 3 raised to n equal to 3 raised to 4. Why 4? Because base is same, so we can add the exponents. Therefore we can say that n equal to 4. So this is the answer of question number 13th one. That is, if we add the first 4 terms of the GP, we'll be getting 120, and you can verify also, because the numbers, because they are only first 4 terms, but it is not required. In case you just want to verify it, you can do it by adding these first 4 numbers, 3, 3 square, 3 cube, and then 3 raised to 4 will be coming. Add them up, it should be equal to 120. Question number 14. The sum of the first 3 terms of the GP is 16, and the sum of the next 3 terms is 128. Determine the first term, the common ratio, and the sum to n terms of the GP. So let us solve question number 14th one. Solving 14th one. Since first term is not given to us, common ratio is also not given. So let us take the first term as A1. Let A1 equal to first term of the GP. First term of the GP, and R equal to common ratio. common ratio of the GP, common ratio of GP. Now what is given to us, the sum of the first three terms of the GP is 16, that is S3, S3 equal to 16, and further it says that the sum of the next three terms is 128, that is and the sum of the next three terms is 128. So A4 plus A5 plus A6, that is equal to how much? 128. So this implies, if in this, suppose uh, we add 1 and 2, that is, suppose this is 1, equation number 1, and let this be 2. So let us add equation number 1 and 2. So adding 1 and 2, adding 1 and 2, we have, so what we'll have on adding 1 and 2, we can add them. So this will be S3 plus A4 plus A5 plus A6, that is equal to 16 plus 128. And in S3 means the sum of first three terms. If in that we add A4, A5, A6, this will become S6, because S6 stands for the sum of the first six terms. So that is equal to 16 plus 128. So this will become 128 plus 10, that is 138 plus 6, so that will become 144. So S6 is 144, and let this be equation number 3. Now let us divide S3 and S6. So dividing 3 with 1, dividing 3 with 1. So let us divide 3 with 1. So in that case, we'll see what we'll be getting. So here we are having, this is our third one, is S6 over S3, and that is equal to 144 over 16. And we know that if you multiply 16 with 9, what we get is 144. So this will be equal to 9. Now we'll be adding here, just not adding, but we'll be putting the formula of Sn. So what is Sn? A into r is to n minus 1 over r minus 1. So A1 into r. What is r? R we do not know, so we'll be keeping r as it is. But what is n? N is 6. So r is to 6 minus 1 over S3 can be written as A1 into r cube minus 1. And why we have not written r minus 1? Because r minus S6 will be A1 into r is to 6 minus 1 over r minus 1, and this one will be also A1 r cube minus 1 over r minus 1, and it will be cancelled out. In case you want to write it, you can write it here, r minus 1 here also by r minus 1 is the choice is yours, equal to 9. So A1 and A1 cancel out, these two also cancel out. So now what we can do is, we can write this r is to 6 minus 1 as r cube square minus 1 over r cube minus 1 equal to 9. And this r cube we can take as a and 1 as b. Then we know that a square minus b square is a minus b into a plus b. So this can be written as r cube minus 1 into r cube plus 1 over r cube minus 1, and that is equal to 9. So these two will be cancelled out, and what we are getting is r cube plus 1 equal to 9. So we'll simplify this further, and on simplification we'll be getting r cube, therefore r cube plus 1 equal to 9. This will implies r cube is equal to 9 minus 1. Therefore we can say that r cube is equal to 8. and this implies we can write 8 as 2 cube implies r cube equal to 2 cube. Therefore, we can say that r is equal to 2. So once we have obtained r equal to 2, we can easily get the value of a1. How we can get? Suppose this is equation number 4th, and let us put this in the earlier one. We can put this one in 1, or we can put this one in 3. Any one we can put. Suppose let us put in 1, that is s3 equal to 16. So putting 4 in 1, putting 4 in 1. Now what is given to us, that is the value of here, the sum of the first 3 terms of the GP is 16. So S3 is 16, S3 equal to 16, and that can be written as S3 equal to 16. That will implies A1 into R cube minus 1 over R minus 1, and that is equal to 16. And we already have the value of R from here, so that will be putting up, and on putting that we will be getting the value of R. So it's not difficult at all. So A1 as it is, R already we have calculated earlier, if you remember that. Here it is 2, R is 2, so we'll put it here 2 cube minus 1 over 2 minus 1, and that is equal to 16. So this will give us A1 into 8 minus 1, that is 7, and 2 minus 1 is 1, equal to 16, and this will give us A1 as 16 by 7. So very simple calculation it is. A1 will be, therefore A1 equal to 16 over 7. So this is the value of A1. Value of R we have obtained, and what we have to find? Determine the first term, the common ratio, and the sum to n terms of the GP. Also we have to find Sn. So Sn equal to A into R raised to n minus 1 over R minus 1. So Sn, therefore Sn equal to n, value of n is not given, so in general 16 by 7. What is R2? 2 raised to n minus 1 over 2 minus 1, and this will give us, therefore Sn equal to 16 by 7, 2 raised to n minus 1. So this is the sum of the first n terms of the GP. So with this, question number 14 is also complete. Question number 15. Given a GP with A equal to 729 and 7th term 64, determine S7. So now we'll be solving question number 15th one. So solution number 15. Given a GP with A equal to 729, that is here A1 equal to 729, and what is given to us, that is 7th term is 64, A7 equal to 64, and we have to find S7. So we know what is S7. S7 is equal to A into R raised to n minus 1, that is A into R raised to 7 minus 1 over R minus 1. So this is what is S7, and we have to find this one. Only A is given to us, also R is not given. So first of all, for this, what we'll have to do is we'll have to obtain the value of R. And how we can obtain the value of R? With the help of this A7. So it's not difficult. So first of all, let us find the value of R. Let R equal to, here instead of letting R, we will be writing here itself, where R equal to common ratio of GP, common ratio. Now what we'll do is we'll apply the formula of nth term of AGP, that is A7 equal to 64, will imply A1 into R raised to n minus 1, that is 7 minus 1, R raised to 6 equal to 64. What is A1? 729 into R raised to 6 equal to 64. Now 729, if we multiply 3 6 times, we'll get 729. So this can be written as 3 raised to 6 into R raised to 6 equal to 64 can be written as 2 raised to 6. Now this further will give us, therefore R raised to 6 is equal to 2 by 3 whole raised to 6. Therefore we can say that R equal to, because power is an here even number, so R equal to plus minus 2 by 3. So there will be two cases according to R, that is plus 2 by 3 and minus 2 by 3. Now what we have obtained is, if you see this S7, this our S7, in this what is required is A. We are having already A because that is given to us. Also we have obtained the value of R. So let's solve this one. Therefore we can say that S7 equal to, so there are two cases here, plus minus 2 by 3. So let us take two cases one by one. Case 1, R equal to 2 by 3. Therefore we can say that S7 equal to, what is our A is 729 into R raised to 7, that is R is 2 by 3 raised to 7 minus 1 over 2 by 3 minus 1. So now let us go in the next page. So from the earlier page, what we have written is, if you see that S7 equal to 729 into 2 by 3 whole raised to 7 minus 1 over 2 by 3 minus 1. So that is what we have copied here. S7 equal to 729 into 2 by 3 raised to 7 minus 1 over 2 by 3 minus 1. So if you see it again, so that is the same thing. So now let us simplify this. Therefore we can say that S7 equal to 729, and this will become 2 raised to 7 minus 3 raised to 7 over 3 raised to 7 and 2 by 3 minus 1. So we will be getting here 2 minus 3 over 3, that will become minus 1 by 3. So minus 1 by 3, and therefore S7 equal to, we do not keep minus in the denominator, so we will take minus up and the sign will change. It will become 729 into 3 raised to 7 minus 2 raised to 7, and this minus 1 by 3, as I told you, this minus will be going here, this 1 by 3 will become 3. So into this will become this 3 will be multiplying with this one 3, and of course this 3 by 7 is as it is here. So therefore we will be getting S7 equal to, now we have this 729, we know that is 3 raised to 6, and if you multiply with 3 it will become 3 raised to 7. So these two will be cancelled out, and what we'll be getting here is 3 raised to 7 minus 2 raised to 7. What is 3 raised to 7? That is, we have to 3 raised to 7 is 3 raised to 6 into 3 minus, and we know that 2 raised to 5 is 32. So 32 into, and into 2 square, that is 2 square means that is 4. So this will give us, therefore S7 equal to 3 raised to 6 is nothing but 729. 729 into 3 minus 4 into 2 is 8, 4 into 3 is 12, 128. So this will give us, therefore S7 equal to 9 into 3 is 27, 2 carried over, 3 into 2 6, 6 plus 2 8, 7 into 3 21, 2187 minus 128. And let us do the calculation work here. 2187 minus 128, and this will give us 17 minus 8, that is 9. This will become 7. 7 minus 2, that is 5. 1 minus 1 is 0. This is 2. So we will be getting, therefore S7 equal to 2059. So this is the solution of case 1. This is only case 1. If we are, let's go back and check it out. Yeah, this is case 1 only, and case 1 is r equal to 2 by 3. Let us now take case 2, that is r equal to minus 2 by 3. So here this is complete, so we'll have to again move in the next page. So this is what we'll be getting in case 2, when r equal to minus 2 by 3, S7 equal to 729 minus 2 by 3 whole raised to 7 minus 1 over minus 2 by 3 minus 1. How we got? We see exercise this earlier page, then we see that when case 1 r equal to 2 by 3, this is what we have got. Just we have to replace 2 by 3 with minus 2 by 3. So what we will get in case 2 is S7 equal to 729 whole multiplied by minus 2 by 3 raised to 7 minus 1 over minus 2 by 3 minus 1, and that is what we are getting here. So let us simplify this further. S7 equal to, therefore S7 equal to 729, and we have seen that that is equal to 3 raised to 6, and this will become minus 2 raised to 7, that is minus 128 minus 3 raised to 7. And what is 3 raised to 7? That we have done calculation in the earlier page. That is here, that is 2187. So we'll replace this with 2187 and the whole divided by 3 raised to 7, and this is minus 2 minus 3, that is minus 5 by 3. So we do not keep minus in the denominator, so minus will take up, but already we are having there one more minus. Both terms are negative, so it will become positive, because we know that minus into minus is plus. So therefore S7 equal to, this will become 3 raised to 6 over 3 raised to 7, that is, it will become 1 by 3. So here we will be getting 128 plus 2187. So let us do the calculation work here. 2187 and 128. Let us add them. 7 plus 8 is 15, 1 carried over. 8 plus 2 is 10, 10 plus 1 11, 1 carried over. 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, and 2315. So this is what we are getting here. 2315 over 3 into, and this will be 3 by 5. Why 3 by 5? Because this, when we move in the from denominator, when we move the from the denominator, when we move the numerator, we'll be getting the reciprocal of this, so it will become 3 by 5. And this minus, already we have discussed that it will be cancelled because 1 minus in the numerator, so minus minus is plus. Now we'll cancel this 3 and this 3, and next we'll divide 2315 with 5, and that will be our final answer. So let us divide 2315 with 5. So therefore S7 equal to 23 on being divided with 5 will get 4, because 5 4 is 20, so 4. Then from here 3 will be carried over 3, and we'll get from here 31. 31 means 6 5 is 30, so we'll be getting here 6. And will be 31 minus 30 will be 1, and 15 divided by 5 is 3. So this is what will be our answer. S7 equal to 463. Question number 16. Find a GP for which sum of the first two terms is minus 4 and the fifth term is 4 times the third term. So now solving 16th one, solution 16. Find the GP for which sum of the first two terms is minus 4 and fifth term is 4 times the third term. So here first term is not given, neither the common ratio r is given. So let us take a1 as the first term. Let a1 equal to first term of the GP, first term of GP, and r equal to common ratio of GP. Here what is given to us, sum of the first two terms is minus 4. A1 plus A2, that is equal to minus 4. Therefore, we can write A1 plus A1R equal to minus 4, or we can take out A1 common, 1 plus R is equal to minus 4, and let this be equation number 1. And it says that the fifth term is 4 times the third term. Also, A5 equal to is the fifth term, that is 4 times third term, so 4 into A3. Now applying, since an equal to a1 into r raised to n minus 1, so we'll apply this formula of the nth term. Therefore, a5 can be written as a1 into r raised to 1 number less than 5, that is 4, equal to 4 into a1, now 1 number less than 3, that is 2, so that is r square. So both sides a1 and a1 being cancelled out, and so therefore now r raised to 4 we can write as r square into r square equal to 4 r square. R square and r square cancelled out, therefore r square equal to 4. Therefore we can say that r equal to plus minus 2, because if we do the square of 2 we'll get 4, also the square of minus 2 is 4. So now there will be two cases, and here what we have to do is find the GP. For GP only two things are required, that is A1 and R. So both we have got, but there is we have got two cases for R, that is plus 2 and minus 2. So we'll have to solve for both the cases. Now let us take case 1. Case 1, R equal to 2, and in this case let this be suppose say 2. Now we have not obtained, I think we have not obtained till now A1, that is the first term. So we'll put the value of R equal to 2 in equation number 1. So putting 2 in 1, putting 2 in 1, we have, so let us put 2 in 1. So on putting 2 in 1, here if you see that what is 1, that is A1 into 1 plus R equal to minus 4. So A1 into 1 plus R, that is 1 plus 2 equal to minus 4. So this will give us, therefore A1 equal to minus 4 by 3. Therefore required GP is, and what is the required GP, that is A1 A1R square and so on. So that is equal to A1R, first term is A1, that is minus 4 by 3. Then we'll be having A1R, that is minus 4 by 3 into R is 2, then minus 4 by 3 into 2 square and so on, and that is equal to minus 4 by 3 minus 8 by 3, and this will become 4 into 4, 16, so minus 16 by 3 and so on. So this is our GP in case 1. Now let us do case 2 in the next page. So case 2 is R equal to minus 2. So let this be suppose here we have taken 2, so let this be 3. Putting 3 in 1, we have, so let us see what is 1. So from here if you see that A1 into 1 plus R equal to minus 4, that is 1. That is A1 into 1 plus R equal to minus 4. So this implies, just we'll put the value of R here, A1 into 1 plus R is our minus 2. So minus 2 equal to minus 4. So this will give us A1, 1 plus minus 2 is minus 1. A1 into minus 1 equal to minus 4. Therefore, A1 equal to 4. Therefore, required GP is A1, A1R, A1R square and so on. That is equal to, what is A1? 4. And what is R? Our R in case 2 is minus 2. So 4 into minus 2, then 4 into minus 2 whole square and so on. So this is equal to 4 minus 8 and minus 2 whole square is 4. So 4 into 4, 16. So this is 16 and this is like this. So this is what we'll be getting. So this will be our, and put here dot dot. So this is our required GP in case 2. So with this question number 16 is also complete. Now let us go in the next one, that is question number 17. So we'll be doing question number 17th one. So now solving question number 17, solution 17. If the 4th, 10th and 16th term of the GP are x, y and z respectively, prove that x, y, z are in GP. Let A1 equal to first term of the GP. First term of GP. And R equal to common ratio. Common ratio of the GP. So what is given here? The 4th term is equal to x. Therefore, A4 equal to x. But what is A4? A4 will be A1 R cube. That is equal to x. Let this be question number 1. Then A10, 10th term is equal to y. So applying the general formula for another term of his GP, will be getting A1 R raised to 9 equal to y. So let this be equation number 2. Then we have the 16th term equal to z. So A16 equal to z. So this will give us A16 means applying the general formula for the nth term of a GP, A1 R raised to 15, that is equal to z. So this is equation number 3. And what we have to prove that? We have to prove that x, y, z are in GP. We know that 3 numbers are in GP. Suppose A, B, C are in GP if B square equal to A into C. So that is what we'll do here. Let us multiply x and z. That is, we'll multiply equation number 1 and equation number 3, and it should be equal to the square of y. That is square of equation number 2. So let's check it out whether this is possible or not. Here x into z, xz equal to, so what is x from equation number 1? That is A1 R cube into what is z? A1 R raised to 15, and this will be equal to A1 square, because whenever base is same we can add the powers, into R raised to 15 plus 3, that is 18. So let this be equation number 4th one. Now if you can prove that is xz is equal to the square of y, we'll be able to say that x, y, z are in GP. So now let us find the square of y. Since y equal to, from equation number 2 we are having y equal to A1 R raised to 9. Therefore, y square is equal to A1 R raised to 9 whole square. And this will give us on simplification. Therefore, y square equal to, this will become A1 square into R raised to 92 is 18. So this is equation number 5. Now let us compare equation number 4 and equation number 5. So what is xz? A1 square into R raised to 18. What is y square? A1 square into R raised to 18. So both are equal. So from 4 and 5. Therefore from 4 and 5, equation number 4 and 5, what we can say? Therefore from 4 and 5, y square equal to xz, and therefore we can say that x, y, Z are in GP. So this is the solution of question number 17.